Good morning, Posh Pride. Let's see if anybody is going to get on. I am checking the newsroom real quick. Let's see if there's any updates. Hi, Christy. Just checking the newsroom to make sure there's no other updates. Good morning. Okay. I'm excited. So we're going to have the team leaders here on the page come on every day this week, Monday through Friday, to give training, and I am the first one. If you guys aren't friends with Beth, they are posting all kinds of fun pictures from their incentive trip. I can hear my little dog at the door. And I'm a hot mess this morning because right after this, I am heading across town to do another Facebook Live with a women's entrepreneurial group. They're doing an interview with me this month for February. They're doing a whole self-love series, which is super relevant to Posh, right? Okay, I'm going to let my dog in because he's scratching at the door. Give me 1 second. Come on, Percy. This little dog will scratch at my door if I don't let him in. Oh, okay. You can lay down. Thanks, Christy. All right. I don't know how many more people are going to get on, but I'm going to get started because, like I said, I have another place to go after this, and I know it's kind of early. Some people have today off. Some people don't. The people that don't are probably... Yay! Because I'm literally like on my last bottle, like there's that much left in it. So I'm super, super excited. So that is back in stock. They are packaging it a little bit differently for the winter. I guess one of the issues was that it was freezing in transit and breaking the glass bottles. So they are capping them and wrapping the dropper separately so that it doesn't bust in the mail. Can I Be is also back in stock. Yay! And I would imagine that is probably, I don't know if I saw anything on that, but I would imagine that's probably being packaged the same way because of shipping issues. So you have those two. If you have not seen, Beth is on the incentive trip this week. So while she is gone, there's a couple of things happening. Some of the leaders here on the team are going to be going live. Yeah, I've been waiting a long time for those too, Christy. All the team leaders are going to be going live once a day, starting today, Monday, me, woo. Then every day this week, a leader will go live Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday, maybe. I don't know if we have a Friday. But we'll be doing some training live here in the group. And Beth is also posting a challenge every day at 8 a.m. So the new one, that she posted one yesterday, there's a new one up on the page right now, and it's good for 24 hours. So you have 24 hours to accomplish that challenge, and if you do that, then you're in the running for, she's bringing some goodies back from Mexico. Woo. Now, I don't think Jessie is running this contest, but Angela is. So if you are part of Angela's group, she's one of our platinum premiers. You cannot double dip from what Angela says. So you can only play one or the other. Probably have better chances here because we have less people. All right, so let's get into it. So I have been doing a bunch of training the past few months with Ray Higdon, who is a social media direct sales trainer. And I've been a member of Sassy Suite with Brenda Stir for quite a while, for about a year. And why I like her content, to me, it seemed like a lot of learning and not enough action, and seemed to be really geared more towards people with larger followings. So I searched around for quite a while to try to find some other training that I really liked, and I came across Ray Higdon, and I've been taking some of his classes. And I really like it because he's very action-oriented. Not so much just learn, here's all this stuff. Here's all this stuff, but this is what you need to do. He actually goes in his private group, he goes live every day and gives you an action step every day, right? So I kind of like that. So I'm actually going to be teaching you guys a little bit, like a real abbreviated version of some of the stuff I've learned from him since I've been doing his training. And two of them are Facebook Lives and Curiosity Post. And like I said, I'm doing a real quick overview. I will encourage you, if you don't know anything about Ray Higdon and that sounds like something, a kind of training you would like, he actually does a free training on Friday mornings. And so if you go to his page, not his personal profile, but his page, so it's Ray Higdon, his page, he goes live every Friday for Free Coaching Friday, and he does like a real quick 15-minute training, which I really like, and it's pretty cool. So you can even go, and if you follow his page, just search hashtag Free Coaching Friday, and you can pull up a bunch of different trainings. I highly recommend it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about that you guys probably saw on my post is about big fish and little fish. And why does that matter for Facebook, or not Facebook, for social media in general? So I have, we'll see if this works, if this will work. You guys can screenshot it. I'll also type this out later. But I have these, so hopefully you guys can follow along because it's a lot of stuff. I don't have a nice, like, those fancy, like, smart whiteboards. So, big fish, little fish, and why does it matter? So, a big fish, so I'm going to go some definitions. I'm going to go over all of these, but I'm going to go over just a few. So, a big fish is somebody who is an influencer type. So, you know, like, you may be a redneck. You may be a big fish if people consider you an influencer. And you don't have to have all these qualities, but these are kind of indications that you are a big fish, right? An influencer, well respected as a business person on social media. And I wanted to make this distinction because although you may be a professional in your job, like I'm a civil engineer, project manager, I'm well respected in my field as a civil engineer, that doesn't mean I'm thought of as a business person on social media, because a lot of us use social media for socializing, right? So we're not considered a business person. But there are people that run their businesses even separate from direct sales on social media, and they're known as business people on social media. That would be applicable here. And this is really more of a rule of thumb. This isn't hard and fast. But if you have lots of active followers on a single platform, and I would guess, and it kind of depends on the platform, if you have 1,000 or more followers or fans or friends or whatever it's called on that social media platform, that may be an indication, or if you're trending up that way, that you are a big fish. So go to little fish. And this is like 90% of us right here on direct sales. So most of your followers on your social media platforms that you're a part of are mostly friends and family. Okay. And a lot of us, like I say, start out here, especially if you're not using social media as a business or you're just not starting out that way, because you're on social media to be social, right? You may have less than 500 followers, friends, fans, whatever it is for that platform. You're not regarded as a business person on social media. And so now this is why this makes a difference. I'm going to go into some of those. If someone who is a small fish, which like I said is the majority of us, if you talk about your product or your company on your personal page, you are going to look spammy. It's very, very, very hard to even casually mention a product on your private personal page or profile and not look spammy. If you are a little fish. And the reason being is because, like we talked about, you are not regarded as a business person. So for people that don't regard you as a business person on social media, and I'm going to use Facebook as an example, if you have mostly friends and family as your friends on Facebook, that's going to look really strange to them if you're trying to sell something on your personal page. Okay? In the flip side, if you are a big fish, an influencer type person, someone who's known as a business person, if you talk about a product, that's going to seem perfectly normal because that's how people know you on social media. You can talk about a product or your company or the service you're providing, and your followers and fans will buy it just because you recommend it, because you are considered not even necessarily an expert, but you're well respected in the business realm in their mind on social media. So because you have that respect and just that, how people feel about you, you can go ahead and recommend that. And people will be more likely to buy it or say, oh yeah, I want to do what she's doing. But most people don't start out this way. Most people, because you've been using social media for socializing, you won't get there. And I think this is a lot of the issue people have when looking at uplines in direct sales. Oh, this is big fish. I'm sorry. Do not. So here we go. You start here as a little fish. They don't start out here when you're a big fish. And if you look at a lot of people, so using Posh as an example, if you look at the Platinum Premiers, Angela Gunter, Jesse Condor, those are big fish people, okay, on social media. They have large social media followings. They've been working their business on social media for a long time, several years. So they're well regarded as a businesswoman on social media. They can have success talking about Posh and talking about the products because they already have people that are following them just for that information. And they won't come off as being spammy because that's what people are expecting from them based on who is following them on social media. And that's why that will work for them. So be leery, and I think we're pretty good on our team that our uplines are pretty cognizant of this. You can't always, it's more like, don't do what I do what I say. And that's the reason why. Because for someone who is a big fish to tell you, hey, I do it this way, do it like this, and you're thinking, oh, I need to write this down. If a Platinum Premier is telling me this is what she does, I need to do it that way if I want to get up to be a Platinum Premier. Well, think about it a little bit and make sure that it's something that will be applicable to you, because if you're doing something that a big fish is doing and you're a little fish, that can really hurt you because it's going to look spammy. Okay? You're not going to get the same kind of reaction posting that information that a big fish would. Hi, Sarah. So it's not necessarily a bad thing being a little fish. Now, there are some downsides to being a big fish on social media. One of them is being systems and duplication. So the bad thing about being a big fish is you have people that look at what someone, I'm going to use Angela for an example, although she does really good about duplication stuff in my opinion. Someone may look at her and saying, well, I can't do what she's doing. Hi, Alexis. I can't do what she's doing because I don't have that kind of following, or she's a big shot. There's no way I would be able to do that. So that's actually one advantage someone who's a little fish has over someone who's a big fish, is that people can more look at what you're doing and think that they can do that too. And when you have that what you're doing looks very accessible and very doable, people are more likely to join your team because they don't feel that anxiety about, well, there's no way I can do that, right? Because you're doing it. And you have all these challenges that you're having to go through and do. And they're like, well, if she's able to do it with all those challenges, I can do that too. So a lot of the focus is going to be in prospecting. And what do I mean by prospecting? Because you can't, as a little fish, you are not able to go and post on your Facebook page, hey, look at Posh, look at this product, look at how great it is, without appearing spammy like a big fish can. They could recommend product all day and people are going to be falling all over themselves to go get it because that's the kind of following they have. But for a little fish, you can't do that. So how do you sell if you can't post about the product or talk about Posh? Well, one of the focuses is prospecting, and that means actually reaching out to people. And I know Beth talks about this a lot, that you have to message people, you have to email people, you have to call people, you have to reach out to customers and recruits and talk to them. The other thing that I did not put in here, and I'm going to put this down now, well, no, not yet, is that you need to reach out to people and grow your network. So you may be a little fish now. You want to get to be a big fish someday. You got to meet new people. You need to bring more people into your group that know you as a business person. Okay? Big fish, you'll see, and this is one of the reasons why I kind of dropped off Sassy Suite, is this is what they focused on, is branding and marketing. And branding and marketing is something that most of us should work on, but it should not be your focus if you're a little fish. And the reason is because you're just not known as a business person yet. Not that you won't get there, but you don't want to seem too slick when you're starting out because it just doesn't look duplicatable. People think that they can't do that. So yes, work on this, but that shouldn't be your focus as a little fish. You should be working on actually reaching out to customers, recruits, and building up your following. Okay, so the other thing you can do, if you are a little fish, is Facebook Lives and curiosity posts. Okay? Now, Facebook Lives, and the reason why this is because, and I'm sure you've guys seen that information. Hi, Allison. There's that meme that's gone around about how like Facebook algorithms are only showing you like 25 people and this is what you need to do and blah, blah, blah. That's not entirely true. I think most of us that work in social media know that it's not so much that they're locking it down to that many people. It's just really that's how many people you interact with every day, right? So that's all Facebook's showing you because that's all you're interacting with. So in order to engage with more people, the best thing on Facebook, and this actually is true with Instagram as well, right now is to go live. And for whatever reason, the current algorithms, the reach for the people that follow you or are friends with you is so much higher when you go live that you are able to get seen by people that would normally not see posts. Okay? So now there is a pretty effective Facebook Live formula, and I will post this later on today here on this live. But there is a pretty significant formula. So going live in your Facebook group, page, your private profile, on Instagram even, kind of goes to this too. If you just go live and you talk about something, that's great and you'll get seen, but people will turn it off really quickly if it's not something relevant to them. Okay? How many times have you started looking at a Facebook Live? You've gone in maybe 30 seconds and then you're going to do something else. So there is actually a way to make those more effective and make sure that people stay on longer. And this is kind of what it is. And I'm going to go a little quicker because I'm going to have to go here pretty soon. So there's a few items you want to do on every single one. And again, this is more if you're doing Facebook Lives for business. And remember how I said for Little Fish, you're not necessarily talking about your product or your company. You can still do Facebook Lives because what you're really focusing on is content and value, and that doesn't necessarily have to be directly related to Posh. And I'll give you some examples. So the very first thing you want to do when you go live is you want to engage with people for 5 minutes. And you'll see there's engage on here twice. So 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after. So 5 minutes before, you want to try to hit 20 people, and that seems like a lot in 5 minutes. And I actually did not do that before I went live here because I was running around crazy. But what I should have done before I went live here is I should have gone to members of Posh Pride, go to their Facebook page, liked something on their personal profile, put a comment, and it really can be just loving, their last post. Do that for like 20 people, go through your timeline, hit people. This is really great if there's a potential prospect that you're looking at, a potential recruit. You want to go and like something right before you go live because they're more likely to see it. Okay? This will bump up your viewership a ton. This will double or triple how many people are seeing your live if you do this 5 minutes before. Then you want to have an intro. It can be as simple as, "Hi, I'm Dawn Robinson. I'm here to talk to you today about whatever." You don't even have to do that. Just say who you are. You would be surprised, especially as you get more numbers, people, if it's a public, how many people don't know who you are. So you want to introduce yourself. And then it's usually good to lead with a question. So in this case, are you a big fish or a little fish? Something that's curiosity inducing that they're going to want to find out what you're talking about. And then you're going to have your content, and this is your value. And it does not necessarily need to be related to Posh, especially if you go live in your personal page. It could be something like, so I did a Facebook Live last month on finding time for self-care. So here's 5 ways that you can make time for self-care. Now we know that Posh ties into that great, but really the value I'm providing is related. It doesn't have to be related, but something that your audience is going to find value in. Then you want to have a call to action, something that's going to solve their problem. Really, this is probably the most important item in a Facebook Live if you're doing it for business. If you give value and you don't ask your audience to do something, to have an action after that, then I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but you're really not having anything effective except, your Facebook Live would be pretty much just marketing at that point. You're not really doing anything to make your audience do something. So, for example, my Facebook Live where I talked about, hey, here's 5 ways you can make time for self-care. My call to action was drop me a message, hit me up on Messenger if you want to find out, if you want some recommendations on products you can use that, to help with, that are great for self-care, that are great for pampering. Reach out to me and I'll give you those recommendations. Okay? So I'm not giving those recommendations. I'm not being spammy because I'm not talking about it there on my book, but I'm saying, hey, reach out to me. That's not spammy when someone's connecting with you to find out that information. Then afterwards, you want to go back and spend another 5 minutes engaging. So don't post and run. If you do a live or you put any kind of post, make sure you're around at least 5 minutes after to engage with everyone that commented. So everyone who comments on your Facebook Live, you should go through and you should love it and you should respond. So even if it's something like, oh yeah, if they said, oh, I loved your Facebook Live, you would respond with something like, great, I'm so glad you found value. Something short and sweet, but you want to reply to every single person that commented on your Facebook Live. And you can do this afterwards. You don't have to do it. If you acknowledge them during the Facebook Live, that's preferred. But you also want to go and follow up afterwards and comment on their comment. Now, what's a CTA delay? So CTA, call to action. What's a CTA delay? So and this is, like I said, business related. If someone contacts you, in my example for self-care, if someone contacted me afterwards and saying, hey, Dawn, I'd really like that list of products that you would recommend for self-care, for pampering, I would say, great, I am not at my computer right now. I can get you a list of that with some links after I get back to my computer. But just curious, is there products you use currently? Do you have products currently pampering products that you use currently when you do self-care? And then you'll find out, either they'll say, yes, I use this and this, so you can know what's missing or whatever, find out what they like about it. Or they can say, no, I don't have anything. Or if you're doing business related, you can say, oh, I'll give you those pampering product recommendations, but I'm curious, are you in direct sales? Have you ever considered working a home-based business? And they'll say yes or no. If they say no, you can be like, oh, well, I am actually part of a home-based business selling pampering products, perfectly posh. Are you open to more info on the business? And it's very specific, saying, are you open to information? Not saying, would you like to join my team? Because that, again, you're spamming people. To say, would you like information? People are way more likely to say yes to information than just saying, will you join my team? Now, after you give them information, sure, because now they're interested in looking at it. It's not spam because you are not throwing it on them without knowing that they want it. So if they ask for the information, then obviously they're interested and they may want it. You would ask them, do you want to join? But just for information, you can much more likely to do that for information. All right, so that's Facebook Lives. I will post this on there later after I run. I have another appointment here, but you can screenshot it too. So I hope that was helpful. And I kind of like using this formula because it really gives me an outline on what to talk about. I know it's really daunting to go on a Facebook Live, and I like having this outline of what to do. It's easier for me. So now curiosity post. So another kind of post you can do. I have this back, reverse so you can see the text, and it's really messing me up. Curiosity posts are another way that you can indirectly talk about your business on your personal, and most of these I'm talking about more on your personal page, not so much your personal profile, not your business page, because people are expecting business posts on your business page, but this is more your personal profile. Curiosity posts is another way that you can indirectly talk about Posh without appearing spammy, okay? Curiosity post doesn't need to include a photo. Just putting some text on there will work just as well for this. you're really looking at including benefits or testimonials. So for example, I had someone reach out to me, a customer, reach out to me saying that they loved Bubble Up because their son, her son, had used Bubble Up the other night, absolutely loved it. His skin was so soft, and her little boy that hated baths said this is so relaxing and actually begged to take another bath the next day. And her husband commented on how great he smelled, like he really liked the scent, right? So there's a couple of things. If I did a curiosity post on this, I can be like, hey, I'm so happy that I heard from Sally. She told me that her son loves to take baths now and found it so relaxing because she used some of our bath salts. I'm so excited she reached out to me, especially considering that her husband said that he really liked the scent as well. So there's a couple of things I hit there. The benefits, I don't know if I included when I said that, but soft skin, relaxing, son wants to take a bath, right? I'm including a testimonial. It's not what I feel. This is something that my customer had told me. Who else noticed? Her husband also noticed these results, right? So I'm hitting those. Notice I didn't say Bubble Up. I didn't drop a link. I didn't say Perfectly Posh. I talked about our bath salts, right? Our bubbling bath salts would be a good way to say for Bubble Up. You are not going to have a call to action in curiosity post because that will make it seem spammy. If someone wants to know what I'm talking about, they're going to reach out to me, or they'll comment, or they'll ask, hey, I have a kid that doesn't like to take baths too, that has really dry, itchy skin. What was it that you were talking about in your post? They'll reach out to you. You don't need to say, hey, reach out to me if you want to know what this product is. They're going to do that anyway. That's unsaid, and in fact, saying it makes it appear spammy. So don't do that. You don't want to put the company product. You don't want to put links. You want to raise curiosity. The moment you put a link, you talk about your company, you put a call to action, you raise resistance, which is what you don't want to do. The moment you say, hey, if you want your kid to enjoy baths as well, hit me up so I can tell you about our product from Perfectly Posh, Bubble Up. Then you sound like a commercial, you sound like spam, and people immediately turn off. So that's kind of the point with the curiosity post. You want people to reach out to you to find out more about the product, because then they're initiating it, not spammy. All right. Oh, I'm making good time. Good. So I hope that was helpful. I did say I was going to have my own challenge. So I talked about curiosity posts and Facebook Lives. So my challenge is going to be to do 5 of either one this week. And you actually have until the end of the day, Sunday, to do this. I know Facebook Lives are something that people really, really struggle with because there's a lot of anxiety going live. But it's one of those things you just have to do it and get used to it to get comfortable doing it. So I really encourage you guys to try this out. And I know I used to do a bunch of Facebook Lives in my VIP group. But those are not going to have the same punch. And those are great in your VIP group as well. But they're not going to have as much punch as doing it on your page or your personal profile. So I would like you guys to try these out. The curiosity post and Facebook Live, you can mix and match 5 of them. You have through Sunday, and it has to be public. So you can't do it in your VIP group because I won't be able to see them if you don't do them public. So you can either do it on your page or your personal profile. I will require that at least one has to be on your personal profile. And we need to have a hashtag so that I can find these. let's do, I didn't really think about this. Let's do hashtag Roar Like Thunder, which is our, don't freak out, Christy. Let's do hashtag Roar Like Thunder, which is our team hashtag here. And it has to be public. So, which if you have a business page, that is public. But make sure if you do it on your personal profile, you set it to public. Put that in there. Drop the hashtag Roar Like Thunder at the end, or in your, if you're doing Facebook Live, that you put it in the title, at the end of the title. If you can do 5 of those between now and Sunday, I will send you a full pack of samples of your choice. So I think most of them are 20 packs on the portal. But you can pick any portal sample you want off the portal, and I will send that to you next week. I'll get that shipped directly to you for anyone who does 5 curiosity posts or Facebook Lives between now and Sunday. One of them, at least one, has to be on your personal profile. And again, like I said in my reminder yesterday, you're only competing against yourself. So if all 50-some members of Posh Pride do this, then I'm going to be shipping out a lot of samples. But unlimited amount of people. But you have only until Sunday. That is your action item for today. 5 Facebook Lives or curiosity posts. Try out these tips that I gave you. One has to be on your personal page. They all have to be set to public so I can check them. Hashtag Roar Like Thunder. And I will post under here those requirements for this challenge later. And this is in addition to the ones that Beth is doing. I saw that she already posted the one for 8 o'clock here on the team page. So I hope this was helpful. We'll have another team leader come on tomorrow. And don't forget that Jessie is going to have training on her page. One of our team members is actually giving it today since Jessie is on the incentives. But we'll be talking about parties, in-home parties. Woo! So that's at 8 o'clock Central tonight. So that's why I went on so early this morning, because I didn't want to conflict with that. But I'll see you guys later. Bye!